how credible are all of these different layers of sources? Because, you know, Steele's partner, Burroughs, I mean, you know, he raises serious questions about the credibility of some of this information himself.
But remember, you know, these were not finished reports.
Well, that's right.
And this is what Chris Steele has said, and others have said as well, in that, you know, he was sent out to start looking. He was hired by Fusion GPS, which was working for the Democratic Party and the Hillary Clinton campaign, to go see what you can find. And he uses his network, which you described very, very well. Danny, maybe you should become a journalist. And through that, he gets basically what we would call leads information, and he's not publishing. So he doesn't go out and say, we got to confirm this. He starts sending the material to a fellow named Glenn Simpson working at Fusion GPS, and to get guidance to figure out what to focus on and so forth. So I think, you know, people have debated and argued and questioned what's real, what's not real in the memos, and what's accurate or not accurate. But at some point, I think the judgments have been a little bit harsh, because he was really writing for an audience of one and not distilling himself.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that the memos became public, and
yes.
At that point, it was a document that
it
was
became
going to get the kind of scrutiny.
In part because David Korn here wrote the first story about the existence of his work.
But just to you know, go back a little, I mean, Christopher Steele was a former MI6, that's the British Intelligence Service, spy in Moscow. He became the British government's British intelligence community's top specialist on Russia, and something that we describe in the book that's highly relevant to the news right now is he was the guy in charge of the MI6 investigation of Alexander Litvinenko, the former Russian intelligence officer who was assassinated in London by Russians with poison slipped into his into a teapot, and it was Steele who first informed the British government at the highest levels that this was most likely a Russian assassination on British soil. Sounds a little familiar if you are reading the news today.